Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Straight Talk. Today we've got Collins Aerospace with us. We're going to be doing the Proline Fusion upgrade for the CJ1 Plus, CJ2 Plus, and the CJ3. My name is Jeff Simmons, and as before, today we'll be discussing the soon-to-be released upgrade for the 1 Plus 2 Plus and going over some highlights of the options and capabilities of that. Today with me, we have Terry Mosier, Tom Simon, and George Palmer from Collins Aerospace. Terry, go ahead.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Terry Mosier. I am the Regional Sales Manager for Collins Aerospace on the West Coast. And I'll be presenting CJ1 Plus 2 Plus 3 for you guys today in Fusion. And a little background with you. I've been with the company for 10 years. And prior to that, I was a corporate pilot for multiple companies on the West Coast, typed in Gulfstream 234, Global Express, Challenger 601, and Challenger 604.
Thank you, Terry. Tom.
Hi, good morning, everybody. This is Tom Simon. I'm the account director for Duncan Aviation. I've been with Collins for roughly 22 years now. I've been in a number of different roles in marketing, sales, business development with Collins Aerospace. So thanks for joining us today. Appreciate your time.
And George?
Yes, my name is George Palmer, Collins Aerospace. I'm a test pilot with Collins Aerospace. Been with Collins for 37 years and have over 20,000 hours in multiple aircraft. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you, George. And myself, Jeff Simmons, with Duncan Aviation. I'm in the avionics modification sales team. I've been a part of Duncan for the last 10 years, and I've been involved with the Fusion upgrade program in Duncan since the beginning of that with the CJ3. So thanks again, everybody, for attending. Just a couple of quick notes before we get started. If at any time you guys have any questions, you can send them to us by using the chat bar off to the right side of your screen. We'll do our best to get to all of your questions and get those answered at the end of the presentation. If you have any connection issues at all during the webinar, click the reconnect button at the top of your screen. Also, once the webinar is wrapped up, we'll be sending out a replay link to everyone who is registered. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Terry now.
Thanks, Jeff. Welcome, everybody. Okay, let's start off. What are some of the challenges in the CJ3 1 Plus 2 Plus currently? You know, we've got single pilot operators, and what we wanted to do is really make that environment in the cockpit decrease that workload as much as possible. Some of the other challenges are moving forward with the new airspace demands, LPV, AR approaches. How do we expand that memory and what we can do in the cockpit? And moving forward with the cockpit, with this CJ aircraft, strong air plus, strong in the market, and we really want to try and get that life moved out as long as possible. So basically what I would say is future-proofing the aircraft. And the first step of that, we've got ADS-B behind us now. All the citations in the United States have been upgraded with ADS-B. Moving forward, we've got PBN, and what is that? That's the AR approaches, curved approaches that are allowing us to be more efficient and safe in different airports around the world. And then CPDLC is basically here now. We're going to see over the Atlantic. You have to have CPDLC to fly over the Atlantic, and otherwise you have to do the Spruce routes.
That's a mouthful.
That's a mouthful. Sorry. And then here in the United States, you'll see in some slides ahead moving forward where we are now with CPDLC and where we're going to be moving on into the future. So trying to ease the workload for the pilots and be safe, we want to try and get this heads-up environment in the cockpit. Try and keep our eyes out the window instead of our nose down in the FMS. And better situational awareness using synthetic vision, Cirrus XM, and data link weather as well. Like I said before, CPDLC, RMP, and LPV, it's here now. It's moving forward. It's going to get more and more demands on our equipment in the aircraft. And then longevity with the aircraft. All flight decks include a 2-year warranty, as well as a free cast for 2 years to ensure that the equipment that is retained on the aircraft moving forward. Mouthful. Some of the features, looking into the cockpit, we've got these 14-inch touchscreen displays, Sirius XM overlays on your maps, and the situational awareness with the synthetic vision, all making this cockpit much nicer. If you look at
Gary, just to touch base back on the warranty side of things, for those of you that have a Pro Parts account, you'll work with your Pro Parts administrator on getting your account set up to show that you have a Fusion upgrade. So when you go to file a claim with your, you'll file it through Pro Parts and not through CAST directly. So just a note on that.
And another note, there is a significant discount. You have to double check once you do get Fusion. Your Pro Parts subscription does decrease. I believe it's around $90 an hour is what I've heard.
Yeah, the best thing is just contact your administrator on that one there, and they'll be able to best answer that question.
So from a pilot's perspective, the displaying the weather over your flight plan and geographical overlays makes it much easier view up on your displays. CPDC brings DCL text messaging into the cockpit, helping you get out of congested airports a little quicker. Touchscreen technology, keeping your eyes out the window. SVS, helping you know where you are in reference to the airport, terrain, obstacles, and so forth. And the configurable displays allows you to set up your displays however you want them based upon what configuration you are in flight, whether it's departure, en route, and arrival. So there's a picture of what your cockpit looks like now, and this is what it'll be moving forward. You'll see you lose your RTU radios up on the dash. Your FMS turns into a quick reference to buttons, I guess. So if you want to get tune or nav or heading, all this can be done down here. But as the pilots get comfortable using the touchscreens, you'll see that this is being used a lot less and much more onto the touchscreens.
Yeah, so you can perform any of the functions up on the screens as you can down on that QWERTY keyboard and those cursor control panels. I think there's a few items that you'd still have to go in, as far as utilizing that keyboard. But yeah, mainly everything you can do up top, you can do at bottom, right?
That's correct. For the most part, it's changing heading, altitudes, so forth. You can pull up a frequency just by touching that VOR on the displays. And George can really expand on that because he's flying these airplanes every day.
Yeah. And the other thing to note is, you're removing your FMSs and you're removing the cards out of the nose for the MDC, but it's now all living in those displays. So even if before you had a single FMS installation, you're actually going to have now a dual independent FMS installation where the FMS is going to live in the pilot and the co-pilot's displays.
That's correct. Here's a great image of SVS where you can see where the train here is off on your left. Your final approach course showing 5 mile, 3 mile marker, and then your airport dome showing you where the airport is.
Yeah, that bubble is pretty cool.
Yeah. So your situational awareness couldn't be any stronger than this. And George had mentioned it in a video one time that I love, that looking at these displays, you're almost VFR at all times in flight. Here's an image of different ways you can configure your displays, whether it's one whole screen, a split screen, all the way up to 4 different types of displays. So you can have your systems, your charts, your legs page up, your weather, all different. You can have 3 different screens set up 3 different ways.
And it's great
for the most part.
it's
just customize it function of flight that you're in right now. I'm sorry, Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just to add to that. It's configurable to how you want to be in. It's customizable. So it's kind of nice. You get comfortable and each pilot will have different preferences on how they want to have that set up.
That's great. Moving on to some of the options. So SXM is an option, graphical weather. The difference between these is SXM is great for US, Canada, Northern Mexico, Caribbean. But as you get out of the US, SXM is not going to work. But graphical weather will work with your CPDLC data link options. And then second GPS, CPDLC, as we said, you can get a second DME, second ADF, and HF if your flight profiles are requiring HF, maybe going over the Atlantic and so forth. Mobile enablement is an option that you can get for the aircraft that loads flight plans from your iPad, from whatever services you're using. Well, actually, it goes from airing services into the aircraft, so you'll have all your legs loaded. Dual charts for two sources for charts up on the displays. If you not using an iPad, if you've got a camera on the aircraft, you can have a video option. You can see the gears down and so forth. And one probably most important one is this installation kit and wiring harness is a new option for Fusion, and that is going to reduce your downtime for installation as well, because there's a kit for the wiring, instrument panel, and some connectors and so forth that makes the install a little bit easier for the Duncans of the world. Currently, we've got early adopter incentives, and that includes 5 years nav database subscription free of charge and a second GPS for the aircraft. Regarding training, got a few options. So if you're interested in Fusion, we can get you set up with a desktop trainer that you load onto your computer, that you can run some scenarios and get comfortable with Fusion prior to hopping in the aircraft, as well as Flight Safety Textron is offering differences training. They've got basically it's a desktop trainer on steroids for training, and then Simcom has a CJ3 coming to Florida, and they're going to be offering differences training using our virtual aircraft trainer, which is similar to this down here on the bottom right. It's almost a full simulator without the motion. It can reduce the weather. It can give you some emergency scenarios and some abnormals. So it's a little bit more, almost to that full simulator, but not quite. As well as we've got George, who can help anybody with delivery of the aircraft and get familiarization after they take delivery of the aircraft. And Rich Pickett is available out there as well. We've got some ILT videos that you can use on YouTube, as well as everything I've talked about before. CPTs, I guess I call them. So I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with what CPDLC is, so I'll briefly go over what it is and where it is right now in the United States. So it's controller, pilot, data link communications. It's text message with the ATC. And why is it out there? It's to help declutter the radios. You're sitting there waiting to get your clearance out of Teterboro for 45 minutes. They'll just send you a text and get you out the door a little bit faster. Currently, there's 62 airports around the country that offer DCL, which is getting your clearance on the ground. And how do you know if you're at an airport that has it? Well, if you're looking at your airport diagram, you'll see it right here at the top left corner. It'll say CPDLC. As far as in-route data link communication, right now there's 3 centers that are using it. It's kind of a test bed to see how they like it, what changes they can do as they expand it around the U.S. So Washington, Indianapolis, and Kansas City currently offer it. And the benefits of having CPDLC in those territories right now is if there's any weather, they're going to give you priority routing, because this, I guess you would say, it's the best equipped, best served scenario. So equip your aircraft today for the future. And it's improved communications, replacing voice over radio, improve your in route so you're gonna get some better routing in congested area, and with the weather, depart quickly out of the busy airports, and just get in your airplane because it's coming. We are going to be a text messaging ATC before you know it, similar to how I communicate with my children. SXM weather, what's going to happen is you're going to see a transition here in the next few years from XM to SXM. That's going to provide better weather picture for US, Canada, Northern Mexico, Caribbean. You'll be able to overlay your flight plans on the weather, and you kind of see a bigger picture of what you're doing. It'll be similar to what you have now, but definitely improved. Data link weather. This is going to get you weather all around the world. No matter where you are, you'll be able to get your tops, your winds, your temperatures, IC and forecast turbulence. You'll be able to receive a digital ATIS as well as terminal area forecasts and so forth. But this is for the aircraft that's flying outside of the United States and all around the world. But CPDLC, you get CPDLC, you'll get this as well. It's more of a textual weather though. I think I pretty much this is the differences between Cirrus XM weather, the graphical weather versus data link. I think we pretty much hit on everything on here. Data link will require the third VHF for the data link weather. However, you're going to need that for CPDLC anyway, so it just kind of falls in line with CPDLC. If you're interested, give Jeff Simmons a call at Duncan. I'll let him take it over from here. And any questions, we will have the STCs available for the 1+, 2+ in March. And currently the CJ3 is available for install. The only difference is you will have the version 1 software, and that will all be updated at the same time in March when the 1+, 2+ becomes available.
All right. Well, thank you, Terry. I appreciate that. So now we'll open this up for some questions. Just a heads up, we've received some questions, so we'll do our best to get as many answers as we can. We'll stay on the line for a little bit afterward, trying to get to those answers as well. So please don't hesitate on send those questions or reach out to us directly with any questions that you might have after the presentation. So the first one we had was how many aircraft are qualifying for this upgrade?
How many aircraft are qualifying or have already been installed?
How many aircraft qualify for this upgrade?
Oh, it's about.
So, and I can help you out on this one. I just pulled it up. There was about 120 CJ1 pluses. It's all the CJ1+, 2+, and 3 platforms. Let me pull that up.
I think it's about 400 airplanes.
Yeah, so in total, it's 740 between the 3 platforms.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
The CJ1s, 1+s are serial number 600 to 701. The CJ2 Plus is serial numbers 300 to 524, so that's about 225 there on that platform. And then the CJ3 is a serial number 1 to serial number 415, where they have the flight deck break after that into the 3+. So all in total, there's 740 approximately that are able to have the upgrade done. And then obviously you would take off the 37 CJ3s that have been completed and the 1+ that was completed for conformity. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm trying to get back to my slide here. Okay. Let's see. How many CJ3 installations have been completed?
37.
37 completed. Duncan has completed 26 of those 37. Let's see here. When will CPDLC Sirius XM be available on my already installed Fusion CJ3?
March 21.
March 21 for the CPDLC. The Sirius XM, will that be available sooner though?
No, it'll all be March.
It'll all be March. Okay.
Yep.
Let's see here. Please advise on the cost of the install and ongoing subscription costs. So can you touch on the subscription costs?
The subscription costs are around, I want to say it's around $10,000. If you're a CJP member, you get a $3,000 discount off a Fusion subscription cost. And if you're a CJP member and you have a ProLine 21, it's $1,000 off your subscription cost. I think it's $11,500 is the exact number.
Okay. And kind of just touching on the CJP, for those of you that aren't familiar with CJP, it's a pilot owner group of citation operators. It's the Citation Jet Pilots Association. It's a great resource for those of you out there that do operate CJs. And they even have, the earlier 500, 501 series aircraft that are in there. So basically it's a great citation, Mustangs as well, resource out there. So if you're looking for some good, kind of a good community to help answer questions or help you along with the airplane, definitely reach out to them there. Let's see here. Please advise on install cost. Cost of install, is going to go ahead and reach out to us on that one there. It's going to depend on, the options that are being selected, but, you can figure between, for a baseline and with options, anywhere from 275 to 300,000. But, go ahead and reach out to me directly on that one there, and we can kind of go through what else you're looking to have done on the airplane as well. Let's see. Is there any conversion being completed on the Simcom CJ3 ProLine 21 for Fusion?
We're in talks with Simcom right now. We're probably closer with them than we would be for anybody to have a conversion. They need the number of ship sets to be a little bit higher, though, but we're getting close. They haven't given us the exact number, but they like the direction that it's going.
Okay. Let's see here. When will the CJ1 plus 2 plus certification happen? That was the March timeframe, correct?
Yeah, everything comes in March. So all the updates to the CJ3 are all tied to the STC for the 2 plus and the 1 plus. So that's why that March dates, that's all supposed to be approved in March.
Okay. And with that, you touched on the software at the beginning for the CJ3. What's coming with that for the CJ3?
So for all the aircraft, so what happened before, the first aircraft lost some V-speeds, they lost some capabilities that they have with the 21. So it's kind of an IOU from Collins for those operators, and those will all be upgraded free of charge. So the V-speeds will be included, the fuel performance. So you'll know, instead of, when you're climbing out from your departure point, it says you're going to land with minus 300 pounds. Now the FMS will be smart enough to know that with the winds and that your fuel burns are going to decrease as you get into cruise and descent. So you'll have the correct fuel that you're going to land from when you taxi out to when you're in cruise. George, is there anything else you can think of that's in the new version?
Well, what it is it's basically you're going to get your predicted performance back. Today it's measured performance, so it's just like Terry said, it's kind of a more point to point. The predicted performance will put all the capabilities of the climb, the en route, and the descent, all that information in there that you had before.
Thanks, George. What if their aircraft is equipped with a flight data recorder?
That's one of the options that will come back. That was we lost that in the 1.0, and that is forecast to come back in March as well.
Okay, so that'll be amended into the STC in March?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Are there any other advances on the horizon for install which would assist with the install cost and downtime? Well, I mean, right now I can speak to this with the Collins investing on the adapter harness. That's going to save on downtime there. It's going to save a significant amount of hours, if you will, for the full harness integration on the CJ3. So I don't know. Is there anything else in the works for Collins trying to minimize downtime?
Right now, that's I would say, just plan it with a scheduled maintenance is also going to help you with downtime. But right now, the harness is quite significant from what we understand. And I don't know if there's any other way to bring it down less other than tying it together with another maintenance event.
Yeah, that's going to be your best option is, obviously when you're trying to, if you've got a major maintenance event, like on the CJ3s, it was the Dock 9s and 22s where you're down for several weeks, or even if you're doing the a paint or interior upgrade. That's always best to utilize the downtime. As far as a downtime for the install, the full harness integration versus the adapter harness, the full harness integration we had down to just over 5 weeks, dependent on options. So that was a baseline. We're anticipating that this is going to save approximately 2 weeks of downtime. We'll know more once we get the first, 1 or 2 done and get a couple underneath our belt. But, we're always striving here for efficiencies and beating ourselves every single time on downtime. So there's a lot of factors that play into it. Like I said, options and what other work that's being done on the airplane as well.
And just to give you an idea, the Certbird took 4 weeks. If you take out all the delays with FAA, but the actual physical part of putting it in took 4 weeks, and they think that they could have shaved off another week pretty easily.
So yeah, being new, we'll get it figured out, and we'll definitely, work for efficiencies on this.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, I'll kind of chime in on that. We bring that adapter harness to market with some experience. We had that concept brought to market on a similar upgrade program with the Falcons from Proline 4 to Proline 21, and we saw a significant reduction in downtime. So that's why we bring that to market and bring that idea. So we do have experience, do have a lot of confidence in that taking the downtime down.
And the facility that did the harness on the 3 was a 3-man shop. So Duncan's already done 20 plus airplanes, and just to add the harness in there, I think they could figure it out pretty quick. I think they know what they're doing.
One thing that somebody asked is, what is the nav data and e-chart update process?
You take a thumb drive, stick it in the center display, and it takes, how long does it take, Jeff?
Just
10 minutes?
Minutes. Just not even 10 minutes, just a few.
Yeah.
It's 5 to 7 minutes is what it was on the initial ones that we were doing. And so no more of CPAS where you're taking an hour to possibly load it correctly. Sometimes they have that failed load and have to start all over. This is something that can be done on battery power, without having to worry about drain things down. Will the Aries box still be used for flight maintenance data? I don't know that one. I don't know if that's if that affects that or not. Do you know, Terry?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. So take a note for that.
Yeah, we'll take a note.
George, you know anything about that? George might know.
No, I'm afraid I don't.
Okay.
Right. How can I get a demonstration? Well, there is the remote demonstrators that are available. The problem that we're running into is with the times that we're in with the COVID epidemic that's going on right now, travel is difficult. So in a perfect world situation, we could definitely schedule something to get either a Collins or a Duncan representative to you with the desktop trainer and get that in front of you and get you familiar with that. In the meantime, there's a lot of videos online. George did a great job with the King Air, with some YouTube videos on the Collins webpage, or the Collins YouTube page. that really go through the functionality and the uses of the aircraft with the Fusion installation. The real difference, only difference between the King Air and the CJ platforms is mainly the autopilot panel and some indications. Other than that, the functionality is identical. Wouldn't you agree with that, George?
Yes, and I just did a 10-minute CJ1 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure when that comes out, but there will be one for the CJ. It's not as extensive as the King Air ones, but it helps to kind of describe how it works and stuff. And then we could probably always set up something online. We've been doing a lot of online stuff where we can actually go into the airplane and show you the actual airplane and the way it works.
Yeah, I would say if somebody wants a demo, we're actually trying to figure out, we're coming up with a couple options for a customer right now on how he can get access to a demo and with somebody going through it. So if you're interested, get a hold of myself, get a hold of Jeff, or if you know your regional sales manager from Collins or Duncan, it will make it happen. We just got to figure out how to do it. It just depends on where you are in each situation.
All right. We're going to go ahead and kind of wrap things up. A question was, where can we get this installed? Well, Duncan Aviation, we have 3 main facilities where we can do everything from, just avionics to paint, interior maintenance. It's full service. And then also we have 26 satellite facilities throughout the U.S. So we definitely have a satellite within, a short flight from you, or maybe even located on your field. It'll depend on the crew that's available there, but the majority of the satellites will be able to handle this upgrade. So, reach out to me and I can help direct you to either the closest satellite, or if you're looking to have maintenance, paint, interior done at the same time, we can definitely bring you into one of our Provo, Lincoln, or Battle Creek facilities. So I'd like to thank Tom, Terry, and George for joining us today with this. I'd also like to thank all of you who have logged in on here and joined us during this live webinar. Please don't hesitate to reach out to any one of us. Our information is here on this slide. Once again, we'll be on for just a few more minutes. We'll be answering some questions on the chat box, but if there's anything you can think of in particular, shoot us an email or give us a call, and we'll definitely try and answer the question for you. Thanks, Terry. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, George.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, everybody.